The OTB Open is the next Elite Series stop on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. It's going down in California this weekend, and we are talking survivor picks. Let's get into it. Starting off with a couple of risky picks. These are guys that I think are going to slide in and can finish in between that top 10, top 15 range, and they have the game that matches the style of course that we're going to be seeing out at the OTB Open. The course is vastly different from last year. They've expanded the course, and so a lot of things have moved around, but it's still going to be a primarily mixed style course to where we're not seeing super heavily wooded areas, but for most of the holes, you're going to have to hit a gap or two to be able to score well on the hole. So the first risky pick, Kevin Jones. He finished tied for 15th last year at the OTB Open. He has kind of been up and down this year, but his bad weeks really haven't been super bad. So he's been able to hang inside that top 30 for the majority of his events, and he's had 2 top 5 finishes this year as well, both on courses that I feel are similar to this course. This is going to be a little bit more mixed than Las Vegas and Jonesboro, where Kevin Jones has really performed well, but I still feel his game fits with this style of course. He's also, he's a top pro. He should be in the mix for a top 15 spot this week. Next risky pick is Joel Freeman. He actually finished top 10 last year OTB Open. He has one of the lowest bogey percentages on mixed holes on tour. He plays these courses extremely safe, but he still has the distance to get a lot of birdies. His birdie rate isn't super high or anything, but it is above average. So I do feel like his game is going to fit this course very nicely. I'm considering him a little bit riskier though, due to his last couple of weeks. The last 2 weeks, he finished outside of the top 25 both times. Now, DDO was super windy. That played a huge role in a lot of people falling down the board at DDO, and Santa Cruz is a much different event. And prior to those 2 events, he was top 15 in the 4 straight. So he is absolutely capable of finishing top 15 for this event. He just has struggled the last 2 weeks. So I'm considering him a little bit of more of a risky pick going into this week. He doesn't have that momentum that some of the other guys on this list have. So moving into my what I'm considering my solid picks, these are guys that I feel really comfortable who are going to finish inside that top 50. Starting off with the winner of the Masters Cup this last weekend, Gannon Burr. His game fits perfectly with this style course. Great birdie percentages on open and mixed holes. Specifically for Gannon though, he has the 3rd best OB rate. All players who have finished in more than 5 events this year, with the only 2 that are better, Alex Russell and Nico LaCastro. He's a very clean game, and with looking at the course out there's a lot of water, there's a lot of artificial OB, and so I think Gannon Burr with his low OB rate is going to be able to find plenty of fairways and perform very well out there. Hopefully he doesn't have a winner's high and doesn't come out to perform, but that doesn't seem like the type of guy Gannon is. I expect him to finish top 15 again this next week. Next up, we had the runner-up from last year, James Conrad. He has finished top 15 in 6 of his 7 events this year, and he has had a great season. He also plays very well in mixed courses like this. The big issue that I'm seeing is I've heard rumors that the final 4 to 5 holes on this course are more power forehand friendly. So I am worried a little bit about him not being able to perform well in those. I also noticed watching some of the hole previews that there's going to be a lot of low ceilings that they're going to have to throw through. And if James Conrad's going to have to throw that turnover that he loves, he's not going to be able to put a lot of air under it, which I think is going to be a tough thing to overcome. But James Conrad has had a great year. He has made do with his style of game so far, and I'm going to trust him. I think James Conrad is a solid pick for this week. Last up, my lock for the week might be surprising to some, but Simon Lizotte will finish top 15 this week. He has finished top 6 the last 2 events that he's played in. He is one of the best mixed golfers on tour, if not the best. He is such a clean player, and he's playing great right now. He was top 15 last year at OTB, and he has out of the qualified players that I pulled stats for from last season, he had the 4th best birdie percentage on mixed holes. He is my lock pick. He's going to be the guy that I'm going with this week for Survivor Leagues. Just to run back through this real quick, my risky picks are Kevin Jones and Joel Freeman. My solid picks are Gannon Burr and James Conrad. My lock for the week is Simon Lizotte, finishing top 15 at this year's OTB Open out there in California. If you guys like this type of content and are playing fantasy disc golf over at skipace.com, please subscribe to the channel. I make a video for every single Elite Series event and major going over my personal Survivor picks. Thank you. Appreciate all the love. And until next time, we'll see you out there on the course.